I've been really surprised at how many people have been screaming at me to pay my volunteers. It makes me believe that there is a huge segment of society that doesn't understand what it means to volunteer. And so if you look it up and go to Wikipedia, volunteering is generally considered an altruistic activity where an individual or group provides services for no financial or social gain to benefit another person, group, or organization. People volunteer to make a difference with their lives. Big Cat Rescue has paid staff. We had about 23 paid staff before COVID-19 hit. And I think maybe that's why people are so angry and latching on to this idea of people not being paid. There is a lot of concern, and rightfully so, in our society, our global society, that the coronavirus epidemic is causing huge financial burdens on people and really making them scared. I'm scared. I am terrified as to what is going to happen to our economy, to the wonderful people who have worked here, and to our cats. And unfortunately, during this entire epidemic, we had to let go of half of our staff, but our staff have always been paid staff, and we pay them wages that are comparable to others in the industry, not the likes of the roadside zoos that you saw on Tiger King. That's just ridiculous the way they mistreat those people. But what was being said in Tiger King that I think was taken totally out of context is we have over 100 volunteers, and all of our animal care is done by volunteers and interns. And the difference between volunteers and interns is just that the interns come here for 3 months at a time, and we provide them with housing and enough money for food because they're coming here and living with us for 3 months at a time. People who are paid to work here are paid to do the jobs that people either won't do or can't do for free. They do the boring stuff, the administrative stuff, the filing and the managing the gift shop and managing the volunteers and managing the database and all of those kinds of really mind-numbing jobs that nobody wants to go out and do every day because it makes them feel so wonderful to do it. It's important work, and I really love the people that we pay to do those important jobs, but it's not the kind of thing that people get a kick out of doing as a volunteer. So animal care, taking care of lions and tigers and bobcats and servals and caracals and jaguar, all of those amazing animals, people want to be around them, and so they love coming out and feeding those cats and cleaning their cages and taking care of them and making sure that they have a good life. And they do it as volunteers. They would be, in fact, I've offered in the past to pay volunteers to do things, and typically the response that I get is that they are offended that I would pay them to do something that they want to do to make a difference with their lives. So when you say pay your volunteers, that's not how volunteerism works. And I really hope that anybody who is saying that would actually go out and volunteer at their local shelter, either at a pet shelter, because goodness knows there are plenty of animals there that need care, or at a wildlife sanctuary. Go volunteer at those places and give of your heart to those animals and take care of those animals as a way of making your life better. If you have any doubt about any of the things that I'm saying, you can prove it to yourself in so many ways. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/finances, you'll see that we post all of our financial records there. We post our 990s and our audited statement, which is an outside company that audits our statements and makes sure that everything is above board. You can see that at Charity Navigator or at GuideStar. Those are the watchdog groups for nonprofits, and you'll see that we have excellent ratings at all of those types of organizations that rank charities. We have 100% ranking, which is like, I think there's something like, is it 1%, maybe 7% that carry that kind of a high ranking. And it's because we do everything above board. And so all of that is available to you if you want to research us and find out what we do. Now, during the COVID-19 outbreak, we had to let half of our staff go. We had about 23 paid staff and contractors, but we did that by cutting my check and my husband's check first. We're not taking a check during this period of time, and we're hoping that things can get back to normal and we can hire those people back. But there was a government subsidy program that would give them more than what we could pay them. And so we had to make those cuts in order for them to be able to qualify for that funding. And you guys have probably heard about the care package out there. And so we wanted to make sure that they would be taken care of during this period of time. But our first responsibility is to the cats and making sure that we have enough to take care of those cats until the day they die. There's no other place for them to go. And as I mentioned in some of the other videos, they can't go free. There's no government program. There's no big wild spaces that these captive born cats can go. The only way to end the problem of big cats being born in cages for the rest of their lives is to stop the cub petting schemes that cause so many of them to be born for that reason. You can help us put an end to those cub petting schemes by asking Congress to support the Big Cat Public Safety Act. And you can do that if you're a U.S. citizen at bigcatact.com. Thank you.